Hey, how's it going, you guys? Skynet here, and we are back with another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to be talking about the Golden Week celebration, and specifically, we're going to be talking about some information that got leaked regarding the theme that we can expect for the celebration, which should be taking place in about a week. So, before I get into the information that got leaked, right, or at least got teased, I do want to kind of say, for the past week, just as a recap of what's been happening, right, we did obviously get the part 2 LR of sorts with the Int Ginyu right here to kind of just tie the knot with the special pose category. Obviously, at the start of April for JP Dokkan, we did get the Dokkan Fest Topo to start off the category, kind of becoming relevant again. And then we did get special pose category EZAs like Int Gotenks and other units there. And then we got part 2's LR with the LR Ginyu. And then obviously right after that, a couple days after, we did get the Super EZA for Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. So recently, recently Special Pose has been eating really good, and I will say I'm very happy about that. But one thing that's been on my mind, and has been on a lot of people's minds, is what are we going to get for Golden Week Celebration? Because Golden Week Celebration, in my opinion, and I've said this in previous videos, but it is probably it is one of the top 5 celebrations in any particular year of Dokkan, in my opinion. And I may be forgetting 1 or 2 celebrations that could usurp it in terms of placement, but that's how highly I regard Golden Week Celebration. So obviously looking forward to that, I am one of many people who was wondering, like, what are we going to get? When will we see some information on the themes? When are we going to get some sort of little teaser on what we can expect? And I will say right now, Dokkan has not put out any information on Golden Week Celebration from their end, so we don't know officially what we're going to be getting. But we do have some information from a credible source, right? So first off, we got to look at iSeriously here. Big shout out to iSeriously for putting a GIF kind of showing what the theme is going to be, right? So obviously, as you look at the GIF here, the GIF is showing Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and specifically for those who just happen to not recognize the pose, right? This is from the moment when Goku first transformed into a Super Saiyan 3 and when he was about to fight against Majin Buu. So obviously, before I talk about what sort of repercussions this has for Golden Week Celebration, right, I should explain who iSeriously is, at least to a small kind of general degree, right? So iSeriously is an individual who has been putting out information on what we can expect for themes, for Dokkan Fests, and for celebrations and whatnot for quite a while. And I will say, there are a lot of times where people will put out information saying like, oh, this is the theme we can expect for such and such celebration. And there are a lot of times where people will just say it and they are wrong. iSeriously is not one of those people. In fact, it's almost impossible for me to really kind of think off the top of my head how many times iSeriously has been wrong when it comes to a theme. And that just speaks to how credible of a source they are when it comes to this sort of information. And just how long they've been at this, that they have that sort of credibility to their name. So big shout out again to iSeriously. You do see, everyone was kind of talking about reacting to the GIF and whatnot. Obviously, Dokkan assets there. Obviously, you see me kind of involved in the party there, but everyone is kind of excited about the theme being the Super Saiyan 3 Goku against Majin Buu, and the overall theme just being around Majin Buu Saga. But now that we kind of explained the GIF and all that stuff and just talking about the theme, let's go ahead, let's get back into Dokkan info here, and let's just talk about the sort of repercussions that has for Golden Week Celebration, and what that means as far as what we can expect. So obviously, if we look at the category here, first off, because I think that's the best way to kind of talk about what we can expect going forward, the first thing to talk about is some EZAs that we gotten recently, right? So for JP specifically, because Global, you guys haven't gotten these 2 EZAs yet, but JP, we did get the EZAs for the Super Vegito and for the LR Bootanks, and these 2 EZAs came at the very tail end of the 9th anniversary. So if we look at Bootanks here, Bootanks, both of their EZAs came out during March 1st of this year for JP specifically. Obviously, Global, you guys aren't going to see these EZAs until right about at the end of 9th anniversary for you guys, which I believe is in June or so. But these 2 EZAs are EZAs for Worldwide Celebration units, and Dokkan obviously did a lot of justice to these 2 units. If anyone has ever just seen a showcase of them ever since they got their EZAs, these 2 units are quite good now. So that was a great way to kind of start off the renaissance, if you will, or like the resurgence of Majin Buu Saga as a category. But then the question became, what else can we expect soon, right? And a lot of people were saying, as far as the EZAs that are left to be done, a lot of them are now falling into Majin Buu Saga category, and they were talking about all sorts of options. And recently, if I do go back here into the recent kind of EZAs we've gotten and all the stuff we got there, we do have several other units that fall into Majin Buu Saga category, right? So obviously the first one that we see here is the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, who is the second unit to get his Super EZA, right? We do have the Int Gotenks right here, who's a great EZA as well. We do have Great Saiyaman 2, a mediocre EZA, relatively speaking, especially because if we look at him real quick, he does have very limiting conditions as far as like the way his teams can be built, and it doesn't really work as far as Majin Buu Saga teams are concerned. But he is an EZA that fits into Majin Buu Saga category. And then, and this is one that maybe people don't think of initially, but we do have the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who was the first ever Super EZA. He is also a unit that fits into Majin Buu Saga. So obviously you see he's kind of focused on Dragon Fist, and Dragon Fist is something we've seen in the movie, right, Wrath of the Dragon. And the funny thing is, he is in Movie Heroes, but also the very first category you see, he's also in Majin Buu Saga. So I don't know how they worked that in at the time, way back in the day, but I'm not going to complain, right? And I don't think anyone is going to complain that Goku is in an extra category, because obviously that just means that another category is going to be better with his presence. So, if we're talking about the EZAs and the units that are really good in Majin Buu Saga category right now, right? We're talking about Gotenks right here. The Int one as well, so that's 2 right there. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, let's just kind of ignore Great Saiyaman, right? Because he's kind of average, and the things that make him good don't really work in terms of the Majin Buu Saga kind of team. But if we got these 3 here, right, with the 2 Gotenkses and the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, then we also have, again, the 2 EZAs from the anniversary, so we have the STR Super Vegito and the Physical Bootanks. That is 5 out of 6 units that you could basically bring on a team that are all pretty damn good. So, with it all kind of already being out there, the question is, what can they do now with Majin Buu Saga, right? And again, we are basically going to be expecting a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We're most likely going to be also getting a Majin Buu as the counterpart for a dual Dokkan Fest, because usually Golden Week celebrations, what they do is they do one good guy and one bad guy, right? So if I go to the timeline here, and I do actually have this already kind of pulled up here, but if I go down here for last year's Golden Week celebration, to start off we had the 23rd World Tournament as the theme, and we did have Goku as the good guy, if you will, for the Dokkan celebration or the Dokkan Fest, and for the bad guy we had the Piccolo Jr. So this is something that they do often, right? Golden Week, they do one good guy, one bad guy for the dual Dokkan Fest. If they stick with that kind of focus, which they will probably do so, especially because they kind of made the theme around, again, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, then that means what we can expect is one Super Saiyan 3 Goku and one Majin Buu. And so let's just say, for example, going back, let's just say you did not have one of these units, right? Now we're basically saying, okay, well, 5 out of 6 units were great beforehand. Now we get 2 others from the Dokkan Fest coming for Golden Week. That's going to mean we have an extra good unit, right? 7 out of 6 you would need on a team. That can all be really good units for Majin Buu Saga. And then, obviously, a bigger thing that we need to talk about is the fact that the EZAs that can be done still leave so much room for Majin Buu Saga, I will say right now, to possibly usurp superheroes as the #1 category.
You what?
Obviously, everyone knows superheroes is the #1 category right now because you have Beast Gohan, you have the 9th anniversary Gogeta, you have the 9th anniversary Gamma 1 and 2 duo, you have Orange Piccolo, you have the EZAs that came in place with the Tournament of Power with MUI and Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta and all these other things, right? So superheroes is, by a good margin, the best category in the game. And some categories have been trying to catch up, like tournament participants and things like that. But I will say right now, Majin Buu Saga is right now setting itself up to be in the best position to take the #1 slot. And obviously, again, so far right now, this is before Golden Week celebration has happened, we already have 5 elite units in the Majin Buu team, right? With Super Vegito Bootanks, the Int Gotenks, the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks with the Super EZA, and the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku with his Super EZA as well, right? Add on the 2 other units we get from the Dokkan Fest, and then let's talk about the EZAs, right? So obviously, some units that do need to get EZA'd, right? One would be the Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and another would be the counterpart to that Goku, the STR Kid Buu. But I will say, I don't think these 2 are going to EZA right now. I think we can expect these 2 a bit later. Maybe they will EZA as part of the celebration, who knows? But I think they're going to save these 2 EZAs. I think as far as when they should do these EZAs, I think they should do it a bit later, and hopefully, we can kind of save these 2 EZAs for a time when Kid Buu is an LR. And I know LR Kid Buu is kind of like a running joke, a running meme within the community, because the devs have, I don't think at any point so far have they given an LR Kid Buu. And it is a shame, because Kid Buu could definitely be an LR, and everyone says it, and everyone is absolutely right, because Kid Buu deserves an LR. But he is a running joke, so I'll kind of stick with the joke, but I will say in all seriousness, they will probably save these two EZAs for a different kind of situation and for a different kind of celebration. But you know, if we're talking about it, right, STR Videl technically does not have an EZA, and I wouldn't say STR Videl fits directly into Majin Buu Saga in the same way that Super Saiyan 3 Goku does and all those other units, but if we're talking about a unit that we did expect to EZA recently, it was this Videl, right? Because she was a part of Ally of Justice, and we thought it was going to happen in relation to Topo and all the special pose units. That did not happen, but she's also in Majin Buu Saga, so she could get some EZA as part of that, and it is time for her to get an EZA as well, because she is a Dokkan Fest unit who has not been touched since she was released, obviously, which was about a year, or not a year ago, but 3 years ago at this point, and a bit over, actually. So it's time for her to get an EZA. Another couple units that we could talk about, obviously, you know, are Tech Ultimate Gohan, right? Tech Han here, he is a unit that a lot of people have, you know, made the meme of in, not recent history, but a couple years ago, just talking about how great of a unit he is aging-wise, right? And obviously he is an old unit, but the whole concept about his aging was the fact that he greatly stacks his attack and defense, and so he's just able to be stacking, and with new leads and everything, he was able to just kind of keep progressing. Unfortunately, you know, with the meta shift and everything, he's not that good anymore, and I don't think he's been that good for quite a while. But the idea that he can get an EZA soon is something that does excite me, because he is a great unit. And let's just be honest, I mean, there are several units that could be kind of that could get EZAs, and that rightfully should get EZAs at this point for Majin Buu Saga. Tech Han could be one that really makes this team super strong. But the two other EZAs, I will say, or there's several, not even two, but there's several EZAs that I think should happen, more importantly, and they will probably happen, is going to be the Int Super Saiyan 2 Goku here, the Tech Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and probably the two sub-EZAs, right, between the STR Gohan and the physical Dabura. So, obviously, you know, if you look at Goku and Vegeta specifically, and these two came out during New Year's on the JP side of things for Dokkan back in 2019, so they are incredibly old. But both units do need an EZA. It's almost insane to think about the fact that they have not gotten an EZA at this point. And, you know, if we're talking about the theme being, again, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, lo and behold, this Int transforming Super Saiyan 2 Goku goes into the Super Saiyan 3 Goku from that exact moment. So it works perfectly, in my opinion, for them to do these two EZAs. I think everyone is expecting those two EZAs to happen, and realistically, I will say I will riot if Dokkan just decides to ignore these two EZAs, because, like, it is right there. It is literally plain as day right in front of you. Just do these two EZAs with the celebration, with the theme that you guys are going to be having with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. If that is 100% confirmed, then why not do these EZAs, right? I think it makes perfect sense. And I will say, these two have to get their EZAs too. Physical Dabura and the STR Gohan, because both of these are the banner units, the side units for the Goku and Vegeta here. And if we just look at Gohan, for example, right, both are kind of similar in concept, right? But Gohan, the big thing about him is his lead is meh. We don't really care about his lead, because there are a lot of other leads for Hybrid Saiyans right now that could be better, right? Obviously, Physical Ultimate Gohan is a good option, the LR one. So the lead is not too important. Stacking attack, maybe that could be okay if it's a greatly raising attack, if with easy and everything. But the big thing is he is a support unit, and he boosts the entire category, or at least the superclass allies, with stats and ki. If he gets an EZA, the support's going to be increased. Maybe he gets some damage reduction, maybe he can guard, he can do his own thing. Obviously, if we look at Dabura, Dabura is in a similar concept, but he boosts the extreme class allies, so we could get those sub-EZAs, and that can make the team also much stronger. And, you know, there's just so much room for Majin Buu Saga to get extremely powerful kind of boosts to it, right? I didn't even mention one unit here that I do want to talk about here, but, you know, if we're talking about another unit that absolutely needs it, what about the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta, right? This Angel Vegeta is quite old, and I will say, same thing with the idea of the physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku and the Kid Buu. This Vegeta is not really focused around the theme of the Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus the Fat Buu fight. More so, this is towards the end of the Majin Buu Saga, right? And the end of Dragon Ball Z, pretty much. So, I don't think he's going to get an EZA as part of the celebration, I'm more than happy to see it if it does happen, because he is one that really, really needs it, right? But I don't think it's going to happen. I think they will save this one with the Super Saiyan 2 Goku and the Kid Buu for another kind of theme, another celebration. But there's so many units that need EZAs that just need to be buffed, and right now, already, Majin Buu Saga is almost there to beating superheroes. It maybe just takes 1 or 2 more really, really good units to push this team over the top, right? And maybe 1 unit or 2 units just need to have some sort of synergy kind of mechanic that pulls the team together like glue and makes the team work even better, right? So maybe that comes in the form of the new Dokkan Fest Goku that we are expecting to see and the new Dokkan Fest Majin Buu. Or maybe that comes in the form of some of the EZAs that we are hoping to see as well. We really don't know exactly what is going to become the pinnacle team for Majin Buu Saga, but Majin Buu Saga, man, it just has so many options, so it's going to be a great time, right? Obviously, seeing what they can do. Alright, with that being said though, guys, that's going to do it for the vid. If you liked it, of course, hit the like button down below. Subscribe as well so you can see more content like this going forward. Both of those support the channel, and I really, really do appreciate it. And comment down below what you guys think about the idea that we are going to be getting Majin Buu Saga as the theme for the Golden Week celebration. Are you guys excited for it? Are you a bit disappointed? Were you hoping for something else? Let me know all of that down below. I'm curious to see what all of you guys have to say about that. But with that being said though, guys, again, that's going to do it for the vid. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.